The Sami are an indigenous people who live in northern Scandinavia across 4 countries: Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. Here in Italy, we usually call them Laplanders, but this term is derogatory because it was used by the Scandinavian oppressors. Lapland is the area where they live, and it is called Sapmi. The Sami were once nomads, but today they are both nomad and resident. As far as history is concerned, there are not many sources on their origins, but it is believed that the Sami can be identified with the Fenni people mentioned by Tacitus about 2000 years ago. Over the centuries, the Sami were colonized by the Scandinavian peoples who went further and further north, and therefore they faced harsh oppression. Schools were created only for the children of the Sami, the nomad skolor and the kota skolor, where the teachings were obligatory in the majority language, Swedish. The Lapmarks were also established in Sweden, that is a division of the northern regions inhabited by the Sami in order to better manage the conquests. Further oppression came with the campaign of conversion to Christianity, when the Sami were forced to abandon their animist religion. Some shamans were burned alive as an example, and their drums seized and equally burned. This forced conversion was carried out mainly by the Pietist Church. What kept the Sami together and what was a strong element of identity were their culture, language, and traditions. Sami is part of the Finno-Ugric languages, but it is not a single language. In fact, it is divided into 3 main languages: Eastern Sami, Östsamiska, Central Sami, Centralsamiska, and Southern Sami, Sydsamiska. Often these 3 are called main dialects, which collect many other dialects or variants. There are between 15,000 and 17,000 speakers throughout the Sapmi, of which about 5,000 to 6,000 in Sweden. Some of the dialects are about to disappear, as only a few speakers remain. The differences between the dialects make communication between the Sami of different areas difficult. These differences are comparable to those between Swedish, Norwegian, and Danish. So those who get used to hearing the language can understand and communicate, even if they cannot speak it. Nevertheless, the Sami of the most distant varieties, such as Eastern and Southern Sami, have the same difficulties as those found between Swedish and German. With some language and minority laws, the Swedish state establishes that minorities must have the opportunity to learn, develop, and use the minority language and have the right to use it in institutional contexts. The economy of the Sami is based mainly on reindeer husbandry, which is still carried out today as in the past, following the natural movement of the herd between the mountain pastures and those downstream, according to the principle of transhumance. Reindeer are fundamental both for the meat, which is their main product and a typically Sami product, but also for derived products such as horn, skin, and tendons. The ladders are used to create very resistant thread. Alongside reindeer husbandry, the Sami are used to hunting and fishing. Another very important activity is craftsmanship, called duodi, which is reflected in different forms, such as the processing of products derived from the reindeer for the manufacture of clothing and shoes, reindeer horn for spoons, needle bags and sheets for knives, wood, in particular birch, for bowls, buckets, trunks, sledges and skis, tin, that is worked to form a thin thread used for decorations of clothes, bracelets and bags, silver, and then roots, especially of birch and fir, used for fishing nets, ropes, but also for decorations and baskets. The last and newest source of income for the Sami population is tourism, which however provokes debate between those who are in favor of this activity and those against. This sector has many positive aspects, including keeping the Sami traditions alive, making them known to the world, and offering a source of income for the Sami. However, there are also risks associated with it, such as the excessive commercialization of the Sami's life and culture, which jeopardizes the authenticity of the tourism product and causes pollution in the areas where it takes place. Very important for the Sami has always been to maintain the obvious symbols of their culture, including the traditional dress, the gakti, and the Joik, the Sami song. The gakti varies from region to region, and the patterns and decorations vary according to the sex and the social class of the owner. The Joik is a song that moves away from the European melodic schemes and has the characteristic of being extremely tied to what or who it describes. For the Sami, Joik is not about something, but it is that same something. The Sami are a people who have a close contact with nature and have been able to reconcile modernity with their values and traditions.